right, so we're doing more TikTok questions.
Yes. I have a J1 visa with 2-year home residency. I haven't used it still in my home country. Can I get an H1B?
Okay, so this person has a J1 visa with the 2-year home requirement. So a lot of J1 visas, they have the 2-year home requirement, which means that once you have finished your term or your job on the J1 visa, you have to return to your home country for 2 years, right? So what you can do is you can file a waiver. There are different types of waivers that you can file in order to waive that 2-year home requirement. And the person also asked if can you transition to an H-1B visa? Yes, you can transition from your J1 to the H-1B visa.
Perfect. Can a case be reopened if the main applicant died?
So can a case be reopened if the main applicant died? So the way how that works, if somebody filed an application or a petition for you and you are outside of the US waiting on that petition to be approved and that person died, unfortunately, in most cases, the case will die with them. If you are inside of the country, if you're inside of the US, once that case was filed, you are able, generally speaking, to reopen that case. But if you are outside of the person, if you were outside of the country at the time of death, well, then you'll have to, unfortunately, has died with the petitioner.
Okay. My no objection letter approval is stuck at the Jamaican Ministry of Health. What should I do?
Yeah, there's nothing that we can do about that. You know, that's something that no objection waiver, you would just have to keep on following up and keep on following up or try a different type of waiver. And it also depends on where you are as well. Are you in the US or are you in Jamaica?
If you're out of status, what can I do to make myself a citizen of America?
So if you are out of status in the United States and you want to gain citizenship, what can you do? So in order to gain citizenship, you have to get legal permanent residence first. And it also depends on how you enter the country. But if you enter the country, if you enter the US legally and you went out of status, you have overstayed and you have accrued unlawful presence. Generally speaking, there are two ways that can cure that. It would be one, a petition from an immediate relative, which would be either a US citizen spouse or a US citizen child that is 21 years or older. There is also asylum if you qualify. There are VAWA petitions if you qualify, and there are different types of VAWAs. It's not only if you were married to a US citizen, it can be if you suffered abuse by your child or by your parent. So typically those are the ways, or if you were the victim of a violent crime and you help the law enforcement to prosecute that person, there is an S visa. So those generally are the ways that you can cure an overstay. Unfortunately, other visas such as business, religious, sports, investment, they won't work once you're out of status.
If someone starts a divorce process and then finds out the spouse was using him for money, can they do VAWA?
Yes. So this person is asking if you got married to a United States citizen and you determined that the intent of the spouse wasn't within the marriage and it has caused you psychological harm, absolutely, you definitely may have a case for VAWA. So you definitely need to schedule a consultation to get that taken care of, especially while the Biden administration is still current.
What if you do a voluntary deportation? Can you get back to a visiting visa?
If you did a voluntary deportation, we'd have to know the reasons why you ended up in removal proceedings and make a determination from that. Can you get back a visitor's visa? It may be challenging, but it's not impossible. You know, again, you still have to prove your ties to the home country. Some time would have to pass. You'd have to prove that you have rehabilitated your character. So different things come into play, but we need to know why you got deported. And again, it may be it will be challenging to get back a visitor's visa to get back into the U.S.
I have a couple of questions asking that they need a consultation with you. What's the consultation fee? Where are you located? Can you share with them?
Okay, so people asking for a consultation. So if you want to schedule a consultation, you can email receptions@sclarklaw.com, or you can go on our website, clarklawgroup.com, and you'll be able to schedule a consultation from there, or you can call 407-295-2138. But the easiest thing is just go on the website, Clarke, CLARKE, lawgroup.com, or just Google Sekou Clarke, and you'll see Clarke Law Group come up, and you go on the website, and it will show you where you can send a message and you can schedule a consultation there. So consultations, you can do it by phone or video, or by video chat. That will be $200 with myself or attorney Tim Shalamo or someone within our immigration consultation team. We have 4 offices. The 4 offices are in Orlando, Kingston, Jamaica, Panama City Beach, Queens, New York, and also Fort Lauderdale. So you can do consultations there. And for in-person, if you want to schedule in person with me, you go through the normal consultation route, and they will tell you which office I will be in, and it would be $300 in person for a consultation with me. Yes, people say it's a lot of money, but hey, you know, I've gone through a lot of immigration cases, from deportation to business to sports to adjustment of status. I was in school for 10 years. So when I dive deep into your case, I'm giving you a lot of knowledge based on my book knowledge, but also based on my experience in court, talking to an immigration judge, based on my experience talking to ICE officers, based on my experience with talking to USCIS. So I'm giving you a lot of experience that you can't just Google on the internet. So this is what you're paying for that can save you a lot of money in the future, save you a lot of money and headaches. So that's why the price is what it is. All right, do we have anything on YouTube?
Not right now.
All right, so let's go back to Instagram. All right, so on Instagram, if you have a master's degree with no experience, can I apply for any type of visa to get a stay in the US, and how much years experience would be needed? So if you have a master's degree, I mean, we would need more information. So with a master's degree, because it's a tertiary level education, I mean, you may qualify for certain type of visas, such as an EB2 or an EB2 NIW. You know, typically you would need to either have a job offer if it's an EB2, or you need to have at least 5 years work experience. So you need to have the work experience, you need to have accolades in your field, or you need to have a job offer. All right, a couple more questions. Boss Sekou, I really need a consultation with you, but I really can't afford it at this time. Is it possible for me to get a free talk? Unfortunately, I cannot give free consultations because there's so many people that want to pay for your consultations. So this is the time for you to ask your question. All right. Trying to contact since last month. And if you want a consultation, go over to S. Clarke Law Instagram, right? And you can mention this live, right? Just type in consultation and put live, and you will get $100 discount off your consultation fee. What if I'm not yet divorced and got married? That is going to create a whole heap of problems for you. I've seen it, I've handled it. because they are going to want to see that divorce decree. They are going to want to see that final judgment for that for 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 that previous marriage, and they will nullify, meaning they will wipe out this marriage. So this marriage that you did, chances are, in immigration eyes, does not exist because it's not a legal marriage, because you can't be married to two people at the same time in the U.S. So you need to sort out that first marriage. All right, wrapping up here. Let's see. What is recommended for a U.S. Canadian certified paralegal looking for work? I assigned in Jamaica 4 years, 4 weeks for a U.S. Canadian certified paralegal. For a U.S. certified paralegal and Canadian, you will just have to apply for jobs, and hopefully that job will provide you with a petition, right? And going back to the original question, someone on YouTube had asked, why is it taking so long for Canadian citizens? Why is it taking so long for Canadian citizens to get a visa if they were petitioned for by a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident? Well, that's because with the NVC, it doesn't matter which country that you're from. There's no preferences in terms of your citizenship. Once you file, you'll go into one of their four categories. Either you're an immediate relative, or you're going to fall into the category of U.S. citizen child that's over 21 and online of the National Visa Center. So it doesn't matter what your nationality is. All right, last question from TikTok.
Yes, I have in here. I got one. Hi, my dad was a citizen in the USA. He was filing for me, but he died. What can I do?
Well, you would need to find out where that filing was. Was there an I-130 approved? If there was an I-130 approved, there's something that we could do, and it depends on where you were at the time of his death. Were you in the U.S. or outside the U.S.? So those are questions that we would need to be answered before we can fully understand, because it all plays into it. Anything from you too?
Yes. Jolanda says, do you suggest traveling on advance parole?
Yes, I always get this question, Yolanda. Do I recommend traveling on advance parole? Definitely. So an advance parole is an I-131 that is given to when you have a pending petition. Because typically if you have a pending petition, such as an adjustment of status, if you leave the country without getting an I-131 approved, that petition will be deemed as abandoned. So the government allows for you to leave the country once they approve your I-131 and you have it in hand. Just make sure you travel with it. It is your authorization from the U.S. government to transition and be allowed back into the country. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We will be doing more lives for the summer. It's a Sapa lively summer, and we'll be doing more. So see you again. And also, for the people who want to talk about immigration, who want to meet with me in person and meet the team and discuss business and discuss the changes that has been taking place in immigration. If you're a real estate agent, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a banker, anything that has to do with the business of immigration, you have to come to our event in Orlando this Thursday. It will be at the Debonair Super Club. It's literally beside our office. You can check for details on the page, but it's going to be a great event, a great night. It's going to be from 4:30. No, it's going to be from 6:30 to
6 to 9.
It's going to be from 6 to 9. So don't miss it. It's called Champagne and Immigration. It's hosted by my law firm, Sekou Clarke Law Group. You'll have a lot of immigration professionals there. Come out from 6 to 9. It's in downtown Orlando. It's going to be a great event. Champagne and Immigration. Let's go. See you there.